Now that the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC has been out for over a month, let's uncover 50 of the weird, unique, and most interesting facts, changes, and issues that this DLC brought to the vehicles of GTA 5. To update some facts from previous fact-finding videos, this update brought us another vehicle that features a sunroof, making the Euros X32 the 31st car in the game to feature a sunroof, which still feels kind of low. The Paragon S and Pipistrello are the 21st and 22nd vehicles to have active spoilers that adjust to your speed to provide maximum downforce. The Pipistrello and Niobe have unique doors, both having butterfly doors which go up and out. These are the 15th and 16th vehicles to have such doors. And adding to my every free cars video, the bail enforcement burrito is given to the player after purchasing a bail office. Following the rules of that video, we still need to account for the fact that the cheapest bail office is still $1.6 million. The Castigator is also available for free for any next-gen members who choose to grind through the career progress. This progress, however, does require the player to purchase the bail office and earn $1 million with the bail bond agents, which means you'll have to hire at least one, which costs $750,000. So add those together, and it really costs $2.4 million. Speaking of cost, I think it's important to note that as far as cars go, this update is extremely expensive. The average price of a car in this update is $2,688,000. And in order to purchase every car in this update without including trade prices, HSW upgrades, and drift conversions, you would need $43 million. Compared to recent updates, this is extremely expensive. The Chop Shop DLC cost $34 million, Mercenaries $28, KO Perico was only $37, and even the Ill-Gotten Gains DLC with the $10 million plane only adds up to $19 million. The only DLC that can compete is the Doomsday Heist, which costs a total of $51 million. But there was 30 cars, which means on average this was the most expensive update for cars, and this is mostly due to the fact that we got quite a few police cars, and all of them are extremely expensive. In fact, the new Impaler SZ and Impaler LX cruisers are tied for being the 14th most expensive vehicle in the game. The Greenwood Cruiser is only in 10th, the Dominator FX Cruiser is in 9th, and the Dorado Interceptor is in 8th, only behind the Swift Deluxe, Gauntlet Interceptor, Deluxo, Laser, Raiju, Oppressor Mark II, and the Luxor Deluxe. As everybody knows, Bolacon got their second production car with the Envisage, with their first production car coming out 11 years ago when the game was released. There are also some other additions that are the first new addition for other brands in years. The Euros is the first Anis since the 300R in December of 2022. The Pipistrello was also the first Overflawed since the Entity MT, also released in December of 2022. The Niobe was the first Ubermach since the Sentinel Classic Widebody in November of 2022. The yet-to-be-released Vorschlaghammer is the first Benefactor since the SM722 in August of 2022. The Pizza Boy will be the first Pegassi since the Torero XO in July of 2022, and is also the first motorcycle since the Power Surge in December of 2022. The Paragon S is the first Ennis since the Deity in December of 2021, and finally the Coquette D1 is the first Invetero since the Coquette D10 all the way back in August 2020, and this is also the first Sports Classics car since December of 2020. With this update, we also saw quite a few fast additions, such as the HSW Niobe, which is now the #1 car for lap time in sports, and second for top speed, at 256.7 km an hour. The HSW Euros is also first in lap time for coupes, and second for top speed at 210 km an hour. And quickly, I have 3 super random updates about the new cars before we get into the issues that this DLC brought. With the addition of drift conversions to the Nebula Turbo, it's brought this car back from the dead, as it was removed from in-game websites over a year ago, but was the first vehicle to be brought back permanently thanks to this update. The Pipistrello has the 3rd worst off-road traction loss at 1.3 behind the Jester and the Jester race car. And finally, the Pizza Boy is the only vehicle in this update that doesn't have any additional liveries, just the base design. But now, let's go through some of the issues and broken features of these new cars. This one is super niche, but the Castigator's bumper trim and rear diffuser is locked to frost white and cannot be changed when respraying the car, though this is only present on the Career Progress version when removing the full camo livery. The Dominator FX graded bumper has lighting issues. First, the driver's side high beam light lacks a light corona, and the high beams illuminate straight upwards. The same can be said for the police variant. The Euros X32 claims to be a V6 sports car, but instead has a 6-cylinder twin-cam engine with turbochargers taken directly from the Sultan RS Classic. The Greenwood Cruiser has an issue with some of its liveries and names having contradicting badges, such as the LSPD Port Authority and the Paleto Bay PD liveries. I mean, you can just look, these don't line up with the names up there. On the Paragon S, the titanium tip bore and squared exhaust options don't show on the passenger side, despite there still being backfire and smoke effects. Earlier, we briefly mentioned that the Pipistrello had an active spoiler, but it also has fixed spoilers you can add as a mod. However, these spoilers do not actually work since they don't add any traction benefits. All of these are probably oversights from Rockstar themselves. But this update didn't only bring new cars and broken features, it also fixed some features from some previous vehicles that were in the game. The Avenger was given the option to be moved from the hangar to the facility and back using the interaction menu. The Bambushka and Sparrow were given a 50% armor bump, which is great for the Sparrow, but the Bambushka still isn't worth it. The La Panade received an updated interior. The Festival bus can no longer be glitched into the garage as a personal vehicle. The anti-aircraft trailer was moved to the special vehicles list in the interaction menu, but still counts as a personal vehicle, so you can't call it out with your APC or Chernobog or something fun to tow it with. Lots of people might hate this one, but the BMX bike had its jump height significantly reduced, though to be honest, I haven't noticed much of a difference. The Impaler SZ was moved from the sedans class to the muscles class, yet the Moonbeam is still a muscle car. The Riot Van used to say that it was customizable on Warstock. This has also been updated to be more accurate. The Astrope suspension upgrades were restored and the race front bumper is now visible. The Dorado had exhaust issues, that they've also been fixed. The Ilyushin finally had its right headlight fixture fixed. The Vigero ZX convertible had numerous adjustments. The rear quarter window panel now lowers when lowering the roof. The trim color mod from the original model has been added properly. And finally, the performance skirt option now also appears on the passenger side of the car. There were definitely more changes made to the overall game in this update, and if you want me to go over some non-vehicle related facts, we can do that as well. In the meantime, if you want more vehicle facts, you can find over 500 of them in this playlist here.